KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian, and this is the weekly news recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorial.com, memorials that matter. Don Pablo's Mexican restaurant of downtown Fergus Falls has closed its doors due to concerns of ICE in the area. As reports began surfacing of DHS and ICE agents in Ottertail County, the owners of Don Pablo's announced on Facebook Sunday that they would be closed due to a family emergency. A similar message was posted on the page for the Detroit Lakes location. When asked if the closure was due to ICE activity in the area, the owners said yes. They said they received a call from a male voice that asked if ICE was around and if they were open, to which they told the man that they were and that they hadn't seen anything. After the call, the owners talked and decided to close the restaurant in order to protect both the customers and employees, as they told KBRF, quote, because nobody is safe, end quote. It is not known when the restaurant will reopen. Court documents have revealed more details about a domestic stabbing that happened in Fergus Falls late Saturday night, including the identity of the arrested suspect. 22-year-old Alexander Benjamin Sean Gonzalez has been accused of stabbing his brother-in-law with a pair of scissors, nearly killing him. Officers say they were called to the home on South Sheridan Street for a reported stabbing. Officers were met by Sean Gonzalez. He was unsteady on his feet and appeared to police to be intoxicated. The criminal complaint says Sean Gonzalez was immediately arrested. Officers then made contact with another male resident. He led the officers to the victim, who was motionless on the floor and appeared to have multiple stab wounds in his back. Officers administered aid until Ringdale Ambulance arrived and brought the victim to Lake Region Hospital. He was later transferred to Sanford Hospital in Fargo. Sean Gonzalez told officers that he and the victim had gotten into a struggle and that he was only protecting himself. Officers later met with the brother-in-law, who said Sean Gonzalez had been drunk and he was trying to put him to bed after Sean Gonzalez had tried to start a fight with their housemate. The victim said that when he turned around, Sean Gonzalez stabbed him with a pair of scissors used for cutting hair. The doctor that had treated the victim at Lake Region told police that he had 2 stab wounds that caused hemothorax, bleeding between his ribs and lungs, and that if it wasn't for medical intervention, the man would have died from the severity of his injuries. Sean Gonzalez has been charged with attempted second-degree murder, first-degree assault, second-degree assault, and domestic assault. A 3-year-old boy was killed by a dog in New York Mills on Sunday afternoon. The Ottertail County Sheriff's Office has identified the boy as Beckett Brown of Richville. The boy's grandmother, 51-year-old Kristen Nelson, called 911 around 1 o'clock, saying that she was driving herself and Beckett to the Perham Health Emergency Room for significant dog bite injuries. Deputies met the pair at the ER, and through the investigation, they determined Beckett had climbed into an outdoor enclosed area where the family's American Bulldog was being kept. He was attacked by the dog, and Nelson also sustained significant injuries while stopping the attack. Beckett died due to his injuries, and Nelson was transported to a hospital in Fargo to treat hers. Deputies say the dog was euthanized by the family, and there are no ongoing safety concerns. The investigation is ongoing. An Ottertail County appraiser is recognized for his quick thinking and compassion after helping save a person's life while working in the field. Todd Finkelson, an appraiser with the Ottertail County Assessor's Office, stopped at a rural property for a routine visit. During a conversation with the property owner, the individual made alarming statements about self-harm with a firearm. Finkelson stayed calm and talked with the person, offering support and understanding. He then told the owner he was calling for help and contacted law enforcement. His actions de-escalated what could have been a tragic situation. Several weeks later, the individual called Finkelson to thank him for saving his life and told him he was doing well. Ottertail County Assessor Heather Jacobson says Todd's response to this crisis was extraordinary. Quote, he showed incredible compassion and judgment in a difficult moment. His willingness to stay with someone in crisis and get them the help they needed saved a life. We are very proud of him. End quote. Jacobson and Chief Deputy Assessor Brandy Hansen presented Finkelson with a plaque in recognition of his outstanding actions. If you or someone you know is in crisis, call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Senator Jordan Rasmussen of Fergus Falls announced this week that he will be seeking re-election in the Minnesota Senate for District 9. Rasmussen, assistant leader for the Senate Republican caucus, led efforts to strengthen oversight of state agencies, prevent a proposed $460 million property tax increase, and end taxpayer-funded health care for illegal immigrants. He also secured $300 million for nursing homes, expanded rural ambulance and mental health services, and invested in local infrastructure. The Fergus Falls Daily Journal and Wahpeton Daily News will soon be under new ownership. Forum Communications Company announced Wednesday that it has reached an agreement to acquire a portfolio of 6 Midwest newspapers and related assets from WIC Communications. The newspapers included in the transaction are the Sydney Herald, Williston Herald, Pierre Capital Journal, Madison Daily Leader, Fergus Falls Daily Journal, Wahpeton Daily News, and Hankinson News Monitor. Bill Marcel Jr., President and CEO of Forum Communications, says that the acquisition will secure the company's place as the largest news-gathering organization in the Upper Midwest. The newspapers will continue to serve their communities with local news, information, and coverage following the ownership transition. Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Area Habitat for Humanity are partnering to address the need for affordable, high-quality childcare in Fergus Falls. The project will be built on vacant land owned by Pioneer Care off Channing Avenue and will add up to 60 new childcare slots in Fergus Falls over the next 3 years. The plan includes construction of a series of small, neighborhood-style childcare pods designed for independent licensed providers. The Community Capital Campaign has already raised $1.2 million toward its $1.4 million goal. The first phase of construction is anticipated to begin this spring, with additional phases to follow through 2028. This has been the Weekly News Recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonmemorial.com, memorials that matter. For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian. Tune in at 5 o'clock every Friday afternoon on KBRFradio.com or on the Fergus Now app to stay up to date with local news. Find more stories on KBRFradio.com. Sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.